we're hot off the heels. It's coming out tonight, basically, for on Thursday night. Is it? Yeah. It's like Thursday night for me. I can play it at 9 p.m. basically because it's like midnight in the East Coast. Blah blah blah. But yeah, we'll go into some reviews. Overall, it's super positive. So I have kind of a gradual ascension from the top reviews all the way down to some of the not so well received reviews of it. So on Metacritic, it's got overall 84. So Game Informer gave it a 95. Ghost of Tsushima captures the mystique, fierce violence, and barely contained emotional angst of the great samurai films. The line of inspiration is clearly purposeful. Sucker Punch includes a gorgeous Kurosawa mode, which sets a black and white film grain, audio-treated effect that doubles down on the classic cinematic vibe. But even beyond that cool feature, this is a game that nails the aesthetic it's shooting for, firmly establishing itself as a medium's-defining samurai saga. Destructoid gave it a 95. I'll kind of cruise through some of these. IGN gave it a 90. Ghost of Tsushima is an enormous and densely packed samurai adventure that often left me completely awestruck with both its visual spectacle and excellent combat. A few aspects are surprisingly lacking in polish in comparison to other first-party Sony games, especially when it comes to an enemy AI and the stealth part of its stealth slash action split. Still, this is an extraordinary open-world action-adventure game that solves several issues that have long gone unaddressed in the genre, while also just being an all-around samurai slashing good time. So GameSpot gave it a 70, kind of going down here. Polygon had a pretty down review on it. So Polygon says, Ghost of Tsushima has a distinctive aesthetic after all, but it's only skin deep. The core game underneath that alluring exterior is a pastiche of open world game design standards from 5 years ago. It lacks a real personality of its own. Overall, I think it was in that higher range, but there are some outlets that they're a bit more critical or just kind of weren't as impressed. But how do you feel about kind of digesting all these interpretations?
Yeah, I think you get out of sort of the highs and the lows included there. I think they all sort of agree in certain ways, especially aesthetically. I mean, it sounds to me like maybe it is slightly just not groundbreaking in its world design, its gameplay, which is fine. I don't think that's needed in every single game. I think sometimes it's fine just to have a game that's fun to play and isn't like breaking any or raising any bars. I think Polygon's issue, they say it has a distinctive aesthetic, but then they say it lacks a real personality of its own, which is kind of doesn't really make sense. If it has a distinctive aesthetic that distinguishes it from other things, then clearly it's having its own personality. But I think that obviously they're talking about the gameplay, but yeah, it sounds. I mean, I'm glad that it's been, it's saying 84 on Metacritic, which is a great score, and it seems definitely because I mean, if we're comparing Sucker Punch's titles, it seems like a big step up from Second Son, which is great. It's really cool to see, and it's another, from I haven't played it yet, but it seems like it's going to be another powerful first party title for PS4. And is this the last PS4 exclusive?
This is it. Yeah, this is it. Everything else is all third party. We still have a bunch of huge juggernauts for the fall, but I mean it's all third party stuff or like cross platform stuff.
Yeah. So it's a good it's a good thing to sort of cap it all off, really.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I share the same thoughts, and if you consider like what Sucker Punch has done before, and for them to pull this out, it's pretty nuts. So yeah, I understand that there's issues, and maybe those issues are more prominent when we actually play the game. But to see their last game, Second Son, and to see this, it's such a crazy difference. And they bit off not more that they can chew, but like they tried to go as far different from that experience and tried to achieve a huge open world that's crazy beautiful and still has its own unique flavor and kind of brings this samurai genre back to life. It's a lot for them to achieve, and so like I wonder if that needs to be in play when it comes to the reviews, considering like it's not like Naughty Dog did this and this is their next one and it kind of like falls short a little bit. The past games have been okay to to good, and this seems like a huge jump, and they try to do so much and they seem to overall nail it. I think they just deserve still a lot of praise for even trying something like this because it's so different. They could have gone with something way more safe in that's more related to something like Infamous, but they did not with this.
Yeah. I think like you said, I think I think they are really, pushing the boat out. They're definitely going something more cinematic as well, which for me personally has never been their strong point. I haven't actually played the first two Infamouses, so I can't speak on them. But um, where looking at Second Son, which is their most recent game anyway, um, the cinematic presentation of the game has never been their strong point. I think just visually in general, like just having nice visuals and a lot of attention to detail in that area is something that they've always done well. So it's not a shock to see that Ghost of Tsushima's evolved on that and really, really improved on that. But yeah, I think you have to compare it to previous titles and to look at how they've taken their strength of presenting their game and made it into one of the top things that all these reviewers are saying is really great. Um, and even if the gameplay isn't anything new, it still sounds like it's an improvement on Second Son because you've got people singling out its combat. You've got people singling out certain aspects of the world exploration, which isn't something you could do with Second Son. It was very, there were tons of games that did pretty much everything better in that respect with that. So, yeah, I mean, it seems like a vast improvement on their previous work, which is all you can ask for, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, I share that same idea. It's very crazy to. This game is already so beautiful, but I find myself wondering, like, how would this look on PS5? Like, can we even handle that
Mm,
level of fidelity? And really, like,
yeah.
another thought I have is that they've pretty much been able to succeed with Ghost of Tsushima. I would say this is now a full blown franchise. I'm assuming it ends in a way that they could
Mm,
keep it going, or maybe they could do a prequel. There's something here where they could for sure continue this on. So this is another
yeah.
franchise on their hands, and it's just amazing to see them come out of the gate with another success for Sony to just keep going in another direction with a huge franchise like this. So it's just like Guerrilla did with Horizon. They took a chance, and now they have a full blown
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's exciting, just in every way, really, because I think everyone loves that contemporary sort of Japanese setting as well, especially visually. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. I'll get it pre-downloaded tonight. Maybe I'll do a couple of hours at midnight, see how long I can keep my eyes open. But yeah, no, tomorrow I'll be smashing through it. I mean, I've heard it's what 40 to 60 hours, I
I think
think.
so. One of the
That's
tweets
what I've
I'd
heard.
seen,
Yeah,
they were saying that, like, yeah, it's like 40 to 60 hours, but it's even longer for the amount of time that you stop and take pictures in the photo mode because it's so beautiful. You
yeah,
find yourself doing that a lot where it
yeah,
extends the time further. But yeah, I've heard the same
yeah,
things.
yeah. So it's going to be a long one. So
Yep.
I don't know when we're. I mean, I think we're going to do a spoiler cast on it probably. I don't know when that will eventually be ready to go, but I'll try and rinse through it as quick as I can.
Yeah, I mean, I would say take your go at a natural pace. Maybe it takes us 2 weeks or whatever to go through it, but we'll see. It
Yeah,
does look like there's a
yeah,
lot of content here. I do find it interesting to kind
yeah.
of compare them, Sucker Punch rather, to Naughty Dog, where Naughty Dog's able to, at least this current gen, they would piggyback or flip flop between going to learning from Uncharted and then taking that over to Last of Us and then going back to Uncharted and then taking those same
Mm,
ideas. So to see Sucker Punch hopefully change it up next time, maybe go back to Infamous, learn from what they did with Ghost of Tsushima, and then vice versa, take those same things they learned and go put it back into Tsushima 2.
mhm.
It'd be cool. I like
Yeah,
when devs have that different contrast and like a style so they can kind of learn and go back and forth. Same with like Bethesda with, say, Fallout and like Skyrim, how they can kind of go back and forth and learn and take those same ideas or improve on those elements with the next release. I like when they have that option to kind
yeah.
of change up the pace and then learn from those different releases.
Yeah, yeah, it's always cool to see a studio like challenge themselves, and especially when it works and they pull it off. I think like a sort of example on the other end would be like with Bethesda when they sort of took that risk with Fallout 76
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they
That one
sort of
didn't work
fell
out,
flat on
but
their face. But I mean, yeah, but I mean to be fair, that seems to be on the way up.
right.
Fallout 76. So who knows? But yeah, I think it's nice when a studio takes a risk and it pays off. So and it looks like whether or not me and you. We might hate this game. You never know. But objectively, it looks like it's been well received. So it's a success in all senses of the word.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I wonder if this will work any better on the SSD that I have, but it's ready to go now. I'm definitely gonna hook this up
Yeah.
to my 4K TV and try and just like get as much visuals out of it. And